Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing today? So, today is Thursday, and Thursday is the day that Jupiter rules. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, blessings, luck. Jupiter is the planet that rules our vision, our faith. Jupiter is the planet that rules our faith. Jupiter is the energy that compels us to be more, that compels us, expansion is, the universe is in a constant state of expanding. If it's one thing that the universe is ever doing, it's always expanding. It is not stagnant. Even the contractions of the universe support expansion. For women who have had children and you've given birth, where you birthed someone through your vaginal canal, you know that in the pushing out, the expansion, the bringing forth, that there is a contraction that takes place. And it's almost like that rubber band effect where something has to really, really, really contract as it expands, and then it just opens up into a new reality. That is Jupiter. And with that comes a vision. It comes an understanding of this reality so that you can have faith to understand how the things work, how the cycles work. One of the most fascinating parts of this experience for me lately has been really trusting that I understand the cycles. So when the contraction happens, I don't move into fear or concern that I've somehow messed up or any of that. And so that's why it's important to understand how the cycles work and the cycle that you are in your own life. One of the other things that I experience, good morning. Okay. One of the other things that I experience is this understanding that as things contract, that the universe is loving you all. The universe is loving. But we don't really know and understand fully the nature of loving that the universe is, because we are in this world that is all based in competition and fear and shame and sadness. And so all of that messaging blocks our ability to truly unobstructed experience the love of the universe. But all of this is all about love. This is all about love. And that is not romantic. It's like the fact of the nature, right? And so when we understand the cycles, right, and we understand that contracting is a natural part of the cycle, death, release is a natural part of the cycle, darkness is as natural a part of the cycle as light. When we understand that, then we can embody those experiences with less resistance, because we can trust that there is a force of love. And even though we might be experiencing something that feels undesirable or painful, we know that it is to a greater end. And that is the power of Jupiter. Your faith. To be able to be in an experience at any part of it and have faith that you are exactly where you need to be, or to have a tool. If you guys have ever watched the movie Inception, it's one of my favorite films. The movie Inception is with DiCaprio, and it really explains how all of this reality works. It explains how we are in our subconscious. Our subconscious energies are producing realities for us, one after the other. And they are in this experience of trying to reorganize somebody's subconscious and get him to have a different external experience. And what they had to do in it is that they had to have markers. They had to have little tools that would help them remember that they were safe in this subconscious world, that they were not going crazy, because it's a very vulnerable experience. And so when we understand that we are creators, and we understand how the creativity of the universe flows, we need to know that there is within that the contraction. There is within that the darkness. There is within that the transformation, the death. There is within all of that, has within it the things that we might consider undesirable. But those are natural parts of the cycle of the universe. It's what we do with them that becomes undesirable. It's what we do with these natural expressions of our creative process that gets us stuck, because we begin to tell ourselves old stories that no longer serve us, that no longer support our greatest yet to be. And so this is why it's important in Jupiter that you understand the cycles, that you understand the practice of faith and what it really means to walk in faith, what it means to be able to hold a vision for something that isn't in the physical world reality yet, but that is inside of yourself, and it is gestating, it is cultivating. Like when you're pregnant, right? You're like, oh, I've not seen this baby yet, but I know this baby is growing. I know this baby is inside of me. I know so you begin to hold a vision, and you begin to have faith for what it is that's becoming. The same is true if you're working on a big project. You've not seen yourself in the fulfillment of the project yet, but you have a sense of what it is, so you can hold the vision for it even when you are in an experience of darkness or breakdown and destruction, because that is a part of the cycle. So Jupiter is about your faith, and Jupiter is in Aries at the 6th degree today. And Aries is our identity. Aries is the beginning. Aries is like they say it's the warrior and all of that sort of stuff. And yes, it is the warrior, because it requires that you take new energy and do something productive with it. And so the energy of Aries is warrior-like, because Aries is a beginning of a cycle. It's spring, right? So from the power that it takes to turn something from winter to spring is the greatest power that we use in the universe. It takes a tremendous momentum to take something out of the darkness and into the light. So this is what we're doing here, you guys. We're looking at the thing that scares us, that feels unsurmountable, that feels like it should never happen. That's the warrior. The warrior is about that. The warrior is about the courage to face the darkness, to bring in the fucking light. It's not about killing other people and all. It's about killing the aspects of yourself that are no longer necessary, killing the parts of yourself that are attached to the shadow. The light is coming, you all. That's what spring is. It is the light. We're in the summer now though, right? But Aries is about these new beginnings. So you have to annihilate the parts of yourself that are not ready to move on. You have to annihilate the parts of yourself. It's like when you do a job, it's like, okay, this part of the job is done. So the parts of yourself that did this job are no longer needed. They're either going to transfigure themselves into the part that's going to do the next job, or they have to go. The people that are going to be with you in this, the people that are with you now, are they making the shift to transition to this next reality? If they're not, those people have to stay, and you will create a new reality. Aries is about new beginnings, and the 6th degree is regeneration. So the energy of regeneration is about death, y'all. Lord have mercy. And it's hard, okay? It's hard. It's hard to deal with the pressure. It's hard I remember, really, the labor was hard. The labor was fucking unbelievable. Like, we don't even have to talk about the labor. That was hard. But creating the mindset to be a mother was the hardest thing I ever did. To create a mindset that wasn't going to just be focused on my own self solely and my selfish needs and, I want and I got. Like now, how do I create a mind? How do I create a mindset that is going to be thinking about okay. Sorry about that. I had to give birth to another way of thinking and being in order to become the woman that would be considering not just herself but the well-being of a child. So I had to let go of that old way of thinking. I had to let go of it all. I had to really release myself from the old way, like I didn't exist, like the old stuff didn't exist anymore. And that's what many of us are up to right now. Really letting go of the past, letting go of who you were. That's what you're doing. You're not letting go of anybody. You're letting go of who you used to be. In order for you to become who you can be now, you have to let go. And that is a death. And that will bring up a lot of fear and a lot of, did I make a mistake? And is this the right thing to do? That's to be expected. That is to be expected. You are going the right way. If you're scared as fuck, you are right. Okay? If you are afraid, this is good. This is good. Okay? So if you are fearful, you are in the right place. If you are fearful, you are going in the right place. If you are feeling like you want to contract, that's good. And if you are in pain, hallelujah. And if you're not, that's okay. That's good too, because that just means that the energies are impacting you in a different way. So let your fear be your praise. Let your fear be your gratitude. Let your fear be your willingness to just, I can't do that old shit no more. I'm willing to be something new. As you surrender, envision the new reality when you can, right? And do things to take care of yourself right now. Like, I'm going to go get myself a massage. I'm going to go get myself. Okay, I had to come in the house and get next to my internet because the outside wasn't working. So, because it's the Cancer sun, we are back in our childhood stuff. So really what's happening is our childhood stuff was all filled with lies, right? We got to really understand that the childhood that we grew up in was all false stuff. And many of us felt it, but none of the adults were talking about it. So there was a lot of gaslighting that was going on because we were raised in a false reality. So we felt things that we didn't understand how to negotiate or navigate. Nobody was talking about it, so it got ignored, overlooked, and sooner or later you just conditioned yourself to ignore it. So that's why a lot of the fear is coming up again, because these are energies that we have not dealt with in ages. We've been overlooking them, and now this reality is collapsing. And so the way that we free ourselves from this reality is through our consciousness, through our mindsets. Literally, one of the things I like to do is just listen to music that fills me up with truth, right? There's so many artists out now who have affirmative music and conscious music. All of that sort of stuff helps you get in the memory, the consciousness of who you really are. And the moon work. Today is the last day to join the moon class. And I encourage you guys, because this reality, like I said, Cancer is what America is. We have the new moon in Cancer. So we have to plant a new identity we have to seed the new identity. The new identity doesn't just pop up. You have to do the work to build it. Like if you were going to live in a house and you find a piece of land, you have to build the house on the land. The house doesn't just pop up. You have to build it. Oh my gosh, Toni Jones. I love Toni Jones. She's this beautiful sister, and her music is like, ooh, Lord have mercy. When I first started listening to her music, I was like, wow. Like she was saying all the stuff I needed to hear at the time. Beautiful Chorus is another group. Tony's a single artist. Beautiful Chorus. Oh, there, and she's here right now. Hi, Toni. Beautiful Chorus is another group that has beautiful music. Beautiful music. I mean, just just melodic. I mean, just all. So there are lots of artists now. You can just go look for affirmative. There are lots of artists now who are singing what used to be like gospel, right? But it's now conscious and affirmative, and it's powerful music. So I encourage you, like, I encourage you to really just do the things to nourish yourself right now because of the Cancer energy. Eat foods that are nourishing. Drink coconut water. Drink chlorophyll water. Do all sorts of things to really nourish yourself, because the fear has to come up. The fear, you cannot hold on to the fear. You cannot step over that. You have to really nurture yourself through the fear. Like if you were a child, like if you had a daughter or a son who was 3 years old and they were scared of the dark, you would hold them. You would rub their hands, rub their feet, give them, you would make them feel like, I'm with you. Ain't nothing gonna get you. I got you. You have to do that for yourself. You have to do that for yourself. And we can expect this. And because there's so many things going on, all of this information about this thing they call inflation. Let me tell you what inflation is. Inflation is the opportunity for you to expand into your true identity. Because when you live in your true identity, all of your needs are met. When you understand who you are connected to, that you are sourced by the creator of this reality, the sun itself that has been generating light for billions of years, that is your energetic source, nothing is running out. So any stories, you have to just understand that that's just old toxic energy just coming up and being released. And come join the community. Come join the community, follow the sun. Come do the moon work so that you can understand how to do this work. There are things, energies that we should embody. You have to live your life from a place of ritual all the time, because the ritual engages your invisible self, your energetic self. And 90% of you is energy. Stop it. Stop. 90% of you is energy. This form, this physical form is only 10%. And this is all we've been addressing. We want to look good. We want our eyelashes to be long like fans. We want our hair to be long, long, long like Rapunzel. We want our asses to be big as donkeys and our waist to be tight as Betty Boop. And we want our, we want to do all the physical stuff, the external stuff, but that's dead already. This physical body is always in a constant state of dying. Unless you're doing what you need to do to nurture it through the spirit that keeps it alive. It's the spirit that keeps it alive. It's actually not the food. It's the spirit. Oh yeah, my cats have Cancer rising. My cats are Cancer rising, Virgo sun, Gemini moon, and they are hilarious. So we have to really nurture ourselves and really learn how to give ourselves what we need, what we really need. And the thing that's important to know as melanated beings, just by the nature of the fact that we are not near the equator, I want you guys to understand this. We are equator beings, meaning we thrive when we live near the equator, which is the balance of the universe, which is where the hemispheres come together and there is a balance, right? So the hemispheres of the earth, that is the masculine and the feminine, and we are equator beings. And we in America, we are far from the equator. So our immune systems are compromised just by the nature of us not being in our homeland. Which is why all of the medical advice is like, you have higher rates of this and higher rates of this and higher rates of this, because we don't do the work to boost our immune systems from our spiritual wisdom. Because anywhere we go, we at home. But you have to learn how to live in congruence with the cycles in nature from this perspective so that you are not compromised in your immunity in any way. But that's a consciousness thing. So you have to really learn to come home to yourself. So those of you today is the final day to join the moon work. I have about 12 spaces available. I encourage you to join. Like I said, because of the solstice, we're moving a great deal of energy this month. And one of the things that I'm really clear about is that your natal chart is a geographical location. That is you. You are a geographical location in the mind of God. And if you are not where you are meant to be in consciousness, you are not aligned. So it's like thinking of your energy is a system, and you have to get in frequency with it so that you can have what you came here for to do this lifetime. You have to get in the pocket of your frequency. And if you are not in the pocket of your frequency, you are draining your own energy. Everything you're sharing is so powerful and what I need to hear. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. The moon went into Taurus, so the sensory energy is going to be really high. Pay attention to your value, how you feel. Like, don't override your feelings. Don't ignore them. Address them. Greet them. Be with them. And then see how that transpires. I'll see you all in the moon class. Peace and blessings. You can register in my link tree in the profile. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.